So Zero Skull says Brian Green is a charlatan. Thank you, Zero Skull. I appreciate that.
Brian Green's story will just make you go wild. You might see the day or the dead of the crime. You never know what the show. It goes rock down one by one, under the radar and over their head. A good spy is real hard to find. 1, 2, 3. A boulder wears down drip by drip. Misguided knocking till municipal freak. The battle lines seem hard to observe. 1, 2, 3. Then comes the face-off, head to head. Know that they know, but not what they know. Lost in time and out of space. 1, 2, 3. There ain't no place that's safe. There ain't no place that's free. There ain't no way we're in the wrong. There ain't no place where we belong. At last we'll rise up hand in hand. So hard to get to where we wanna be. All need the one just as everyone needs all. 1, 2, 3. There ain't no place that's safe. There ain't no place that's free. There ain't no way it takes this long. There ain't no place where we belong.
It's the ZERØ show episode. Everything is awesome. Made with bricks from contented Lego cows. See Dayglow Lego bricks and constructs. See Lego Lightsabers. See artwork by famous Columbus, Ohio artists. Meet Jack Schwartz II from Lego Masters. Build a robot and a human figure. Take part building tiles for a giant Marvel vs. DC Mosaic. Explore history with life-size Lego statues depicting figures from across time and around the world. Race Lego derby cars downhill and head-to-head. Discover a trove of loose Lego bricks to pick and pull at a secret toy store. And more. I might always be wrong.
Hey there, hi, hello, hey, heya, hey, welcome everybody, by which I mean you. Welcome to the show. It's the most underground show in the world, and this episode is about Lego. I first mentioned Lego in my Pac-Man episode, which was about Denmark, and I made it my Denmark episode because there really isn't much to say about Pac-Man. He chases ghosts, he eats the little dots. If he eats a big dot, he can then chase the ghosts and eat them. The ghosts are named Inky, Pinky, Blinky, and Clyde, and Inky is blue, Pinky is pink, Blinky is red, and Clyde is orange. And there's they have different personalities. Blinky, who's the red one, is also known as Speedy because it's really fast, I guess. And there really isn't much to say about Pac-Man, so I made it my Denmark episode, and Lego comes from Denmark. So the next time you wonder, what has Denmark done for me lately? Which I know you wonder quite often. You can rest assured that Denmark is responsible for every Lego you've ever stepped on, and all those weird fan fiction comedy movies about Batman and such, for whatever reason. Well, there are two kinds of people in this world. There are those who say there are two kinds of people and everybody else. But there are two kinds of people in this world. Those who, when they hear the sound of Legos being dug through, the jingling and clinking of them going together, there are those people who hear grinding glass, and then there are those people who hear adventure, nostalgia, the idea of imagination. If you're the prior and you hear grinding glass, you probably won't enjoy this show, and if you're the latter and you hear adventure, you'll probably have a good time. So I was online sometime in mid-December, and due to my being in a chemically altered state of mind. Is a sink the opposite of a boat? I saw an ad for a thing called Brickfest, and at some point in the past I had heard about Brickfest, and it actually started out as a thing for AFOLs, adult fans of Lego. And so I saw this ad and I was like, ooh, that looks like something I would want to do, because I was in a chemically altered state of mind. So I bought 2 tickets. When I sobered up, Brickfest? Was I trying to order breakfast? What the hell? I had immediate buyer's remorse and wondered if I could return the tickets, and then I decided I could do it. I could do this anyway. I would make an episode out of it. I would go in there as a journalist, gonzo blazing, twist everything to meet my story, and then give you a story about my adventure and experience there, using the entirety of the Brickfest live space as my set. But that did not work out, because I then realized that Brickfest Live had changed formats and was now a family event and not just an adult event. So I would have to actually be a bit more cautious. And then I realized that the tickets I got were for the morning events. The afternoon, by the time I bought the tickets, the afternoon events had already been sold out, and these were the tickets that were available. But apparently they were for the morning, and I did not realize that until sometime later. And so I was thinking I could probably go in there, like just not sleep, and go in there half dead and do a weird thing like that. But then I decided to really treat it like a job, take it seriously, wake up to the alarm, commute down there, and just do it like a job, treat it like real work. So I did that. I had a pretty good time, not an incredible time. I didn't have a bad time. I stayed for 3 hours each day. Not sure if I would have wanted to stay more than that. I built a robot. I built a human figure. I met a guy called Jack Schwartz II, who is a Lego master. He was on the show Lego Masters, which is on Fox in season 2. And he designs Lego sets and does commissions and that kind of thing. Saw a bunch of statues, or life-size Lego statues of figures from around the world and from fiction. Saw some artwork. They have great artwork at the convention center where the event was held. They had downhill races. And somewhere in this video, probably toward the end, probably the last sequence, if you want to skip the whole thing and just go there, I'll reveal a secret toy store where they have a bunch of Legos that you can scoop up or pick and pull, take them home by the bag at a really reasonable price. Alright, so is that it? Yeah, let's get on with the show. When I first arrived on both days, I received a VIP tag, and on the first day I received a pin, as was stipulated on my ticket. On the second day, along with my VIP badge, I was given a sticker, though my ticket specified I would receive a pin.
We'll start at the top of the table, and you will work your way straight down from 1 through 6. And the girl in the yellow shirt, she will be hole punching your badges, and you get to keep your toy. You're building a Lego robot.
All right, thank you.
Once I had that loot, I was guided to an area where I could build a tiny robot figure that represented the mascot printed on my badges and sticker and pin.
Bring your legs.
I built a larger robot from those parts and my own Lego collection at home, and called it Trove because it uses all the same letters from robot. I was going to name him Brute, but that is too close to Groot, and it implies brutalism, while Trube implies troubadour, which is a medieval French lyric poet.
That's Superman. That's Superman. Do Batman, Superman.
So what we're doing today is we're gonna utilize this platform here to replicate this image completely
Right.
using these Legos. And when you're done, you'll pass it to one of us and we'll add it to the collector. If
Right.
you have any questions, let us know.
Okay.
My favorite activity was building panels of Tesla to be added.
That might be purple, by the way.
What?
These might be purple.
Oh no.
I'm not positive, but we know to sweet it off.
Yeah, I think you're right.
My favorite activity was building panels of Tesla to be added to a giant Marvel vs. DC mosaic that featured the major heroes from each comic book universe. On the first day, only the DC characters were finished. On the second day, the Marvel heroes were coming along strongly, but I left before it was finished.
There it goes.
On our way out.
Then there was a special region that was under a canopy and lighted only by black lights, and there, presented for people to build with, UV-sensitive day-glow Lego bricks. I was not particularly inspired at the time, but now wish I had built something while I was there just to share in the community effort and to present on the show.
And there's the lid for my toilet. Daddy, what is it? Oh, Legos.
That one right there. That.
Oh.
Look at them all first. Those over there. Yeah.
Right here.
These are all really cool.
The main event was a downhill derby race for which competitors would build a car, and it would be put onto a 35-foot downhill gradient track and challenge other cars. Whichever car won would be given as a prize to the winner in each race. The other cars would be dismantled and the parts would be returned to the build stations to be used by other competitors for their own attempts at building the fastest Lego car.
That was a solid finish there. I think the one that won, though, in the end, was this one. Who built this part over here? Over here. Great job. Great job.
I knew I should have, but I did not compete. Besides, I wouldn't want to have been some lone guy beating a bunch of kids in front of their families. No thank you.
Ready? All right, let's do this, guys. All right, 3, 2, 1. Oh boy. Oh, collision right there at the end, but it was this blue car.
Then I was able to get a short interview with Jack Schwartz II from Season 2 of LEGO Masters on Fox. I would have gotten more in-depth with my questioning, but there were kids waiting in line to see him, so I wanted to get it over with quickly and didn't press him much. It was more important that future builders meet a role model than that I got all the answers out of him.
So I've got Lego Master Jack Schwartz II. You were on Season 2 of the Fox show Lego Masters. And I wonder, like, how you got into Lego in the first place?
About 10 years old, I started playing with Lego before they had sets.
Right.
And when I got older, I got away from it. Then when I had kids, I got back building with my kids.
Yeah.
Then when my kids grew up, I built with my grandkids.
Right on. And is this like a lifelong thing, like just design and engineering and that kind of thing, or is it just a thing that you do with Legos?
It's just a thing I do with Lego. I'm kind of art-based family. I have a couple sisters that are very big into Lego. They're on YouTube, they're on Instagram, and all the other medias.
Right on.
Me, it's just more of a hobby that I do from time to time, in between motorcycle riding and other things.
How did you wind up on the show?
My sister asked me if I wanted to be on there. She had been pursued by the producers. We jumped through hoops and auditioned, and by some weird thing we made it.
And then I wonder if you can tell me about these things that you're presenting here.
This was my first commission piece. The seahorse, my mouth engaged before my brain did, and they asked me to make something for under the water, and I said, oh, I'll do a seahorse, and didn't think about how much work was involved in it. But that's where I came up with that one.
But that is gorgeous.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
What number is
this? This is a drunk in a bottle.
Okay, yeah, he's never going to get out of there.
When I first saw the Ship in the Bottle set, which it is, I knew I wanted to do that with it.
I know how you got him in there, by the way. It was just the Ship in the Bottle set, and you decided, hey, what else goes with the bottle?
Right. And this here, I saw the Technics pieces. I thought, you know, that looks like that might make a good engine voice. So that's where I started, and then I built the engine after that.
Right on.
Sometimes I look at the pieces and let them dictate what they become.
Yeah.
I think, well, this will be a good part for that, and other times I think, okay, how do I build this, and what can I do? It just depends.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Quite welcome.
Thank you, Jack Schwartz II.
At the Greater Columbus Convention Center, one can find artwork from famed Columbus artists. Sadly, there is no work on display by Alex Gray, who is probably the most renowned living artist from our fair city, who is best known for his album cover and poster artwork and logo designs for the band Tool. Mount Vernon Avenue Memory Map done in paint on cloth by Amina Brenda Lynn Robinson. This is an untitled photograph by Tony Mendoza. Secret Life of Sir Cedric, a 3-panel mixed media collage by Charlotte McGraw. This is an untitled print work by Queen Brooks. Here is an untitled series of painted panels by G. Josie Joseph. Tracks and Memories is a collage in mixed media by David Cook. By a wild coincidence, the one piece that I really wanted to see, the 35-foot-long oil paint masterwork by Emerson Burkhart titled Music, Drama, Dance, was situated directly above the doors to the exhibition ballroom where the Brickfest live event was held. If 35 feet sounds familiar, it is also the length of the racetrack you saw a few minutes ago. Sadly, the view to the painting is at too steep an angle to get a good look at it without distortions, but at least it is there and preserved. A tag wall had been set up where people could build anything they liked and have it extend outward from the face of the wall, but we were encouraged to build an image of our names or logos. So I built the basic logo for the most underground show on the earth. That's this show. I should use that logo for this episode. I should do the whole title sequence in Lego. No, that's too much. Large versions of classic Lego minifigs, like these spacemen who were part of my own childhood, were on display. There was also this build of Donkey Kong, which I'll probably include in my upcoming Donkey Kong video. And there were also these small busts of Gamora, Yondu, Mantis, and Rocket Raccoon from that one movie thing, and Yoda and Darth Maul from a different movie thing. They also had life-size and larger-than-life statues and busts. Woody, of course, isn't really 6 feet tall. The Wicked Witch, though, really is green. This is the Wicked Witch of the East, as we can tell by her ruby slippers. Small Mario is apparently as tall as Pikachu, so tall Mario should be about 5 feet tall. Pikachu is awesome. Did you know that Pika is the Japanese onomatopoeia for an electric spark that is pronounced as zikt or tss in English, and that Chuchu is a cute name for a mouse in Japanese, as mousy wousy is in English. So Pikachu carries over from Japanese to English as mouse. And while mouse sounds silly in any language, Pikachu sounds cute. In English, Pikachu sounds like peek at you. I feel like somebody should combine Mario with Pikachu and create an amalgamation that I've already named Picario, who shouts, "Mamma Pika, it's a me, Picario." Now we see that Mjolnir is about as tall as Pikachu, and so as tall as Small Mario, and that Cap's shield is slightly bigger than that. Darth Vader's bust seems a bit smaller than it should be. The head really ought to be as big as this clone trooper helmet. These lightsabers are all accurately built to represent those shown in the Star Wars films. Obi-Wan Kenobi's lightsaber is blue. This lightsaber, which was owned by Anakin Skywalker, which was then given to Luke by Obi-Wan, and eventually he passed it on to Rey, is also blue. The double-bladed lightsaber staff belonged to Darth Maul and is red. This one was also owned by Luke Skywalker and it is green. And this one, also green, belonged to Master Yoda. These figures are presented in an exhibit called Bricks from Around the World, but they should be called Historic Bricks from Around the World. Like if you go to Mexico today, you aren't likely to bump into a Mayan warrior, and he isn't likely to be drawing his spiked sword or to have it sheathed behind his back. Remember, Mexicans are scary. Look at him. Ah! And then if you go to Greece today, you aren't likely to find a guy in a toga speaking at the Parthenon. Though you might actually find a drunk guy draped in a bedsheet shouting incoherent nonsense at the Parthenon. There is no indication of this person's position or rank, but people I overheard seem to think he is a philosopher. Japan's exclusionist Edo period began in 1603 under the Tokugawa shogunate and lasted until 1868. During this period, external influence was very limited, and entry into Japan was strictly regulated. Japanese internal culture flourished during this time, with the samurai class maintaining order, but internal unrest began in the 1780s due to major famine and slowly grew over the next century, a time when the West was industrializing, inventing machine guns and coast-to-coast railroads and supply chains and telegraphic communication lines, such that by the 1860s, Japan was internally struggling against peasant strife and social collapse, and externally against weapons that were futuristic compared to what Japan had developed over that same period, which culminated with the Boshin War, the last samurai war, which lasted a year and a half from January 1868 to June 1869, which forced Japan to open trade agreements and invite diplomats to introduce Japan to the new world that had built up around them during the exclusionist period. With the end of the Edo period, so came the end of the samurai, as external voices were invited to help bring Japan into the modern world. In late October of 1871, the first baseball game ever played in Japan was held between new American residents in Japan and the visiting naval crew of the USS Colorado. By 1872, 1 year later, an American English teacher named Horace Wilson who was a personal friend of Alexander Cartwright, the guy who first codified the rules of baseball in 1845, had introduced baseball to his Japanese students, and by the end of the year an informal Japanese baseball league was already playing scheduled games. A professional league would begin to play by 1878. With the loss of samurai culture, many in Japan had a difficult time trying to figure out what to do with themselves in their lives, and baseball seemed like a perfect replacement. You used to swing a sword, now you can swing this bat. You used to throw shuriken stars, now you can throw this ball. It arrived at just the right time and in just the right way to take Japan by storm. Today, baseball is so deeply entrenched in Japanese culture that many Japanese people are surprised to learn that Americans love their national sport. You might meet a person dressed like this for a parade or a holiday, but if you visit Japan, you are much more likely to meet a baseball player. Of course, if you go to Egypt, you are not likely to meet a pharaoh or vizier, and this is more likely a vizier since he doesn't have that chin piece, and the era of the pharaoh is lost to our modern world and mysticized to such an extent that nobody can say for sure whether the Marvel character En-Sabah-Nur, known as Apocalypse, ever really lived in ancient Egypt. This one appears to be an Apache done up for some festival, and the teepees in the background do appear to be Apache. But where this fellow got a tree stump in the middle of the desert is anybody's guess. It has me stumped. This character is one you might actually meet in India in the Manipur region. She is a traditional Manipuri Ras Leela dancer, and she broke a nail. There was a Minecraft table that featured a life-size Minecraft character, but the table was intended to be used by anyone to display works in color. On the first day I built a figure of man and added it to the display, and I built the same thing the next day with the legs in opposite poses. I built him like this. And there he is. Another display featured a large building that could be called a ziggurat that was done in white, reminiscent of ancient Greek white marble architecture, so the whole thing had a feel of being ancient and modern. The biblical Tower of Babel would have been a Babylonian ziggurat that, according to the legend, is the place where differing languages were created, because apparently God hates people working together and understanding each other. So this was a place where differing voices could come together and make their own unique expression about the same thing, seeming disparate in design, but being alike in intention. On the second day, I worked on the Mosaic again. I did 2 passes, one where I did 1 tile.
Yesterday we built the DC team, and now today, coming into focus, we have the Marvel characters. You've got Hulk, you've got Captain America's head there, there's Spider-Man up in the corner. And I'm gonna guess that that right there is Black Widow.
and one where I did 3. It didn't occur to me, but by doing 3, I've now done 3 because I really want to see this mosaic get finished. It didn't occur to me, but by doing 3, I was actually slowing the tessellation process because, as I completed the first one, 10 people finished theirs, and so those tiles were laid out. As I completed the second one, 10 more people completed theirs. And as I completed the third one, 10 more people had completed theirs. So I was actually 1 line back and handed in my 3 panels late. And this was the last shot I got of the event before I left. Just a few blocks up the street from the Greater Columbus Convention Center, which I walked after leaving Brickfest Live, there is a little toy shop.
I gotta pet that puppy real fast. You got it. Bo. Bo, what are you doing, big boy? What are you doing? Oh. Just growing, getting bigger, and meeting strangers. Yeah.
So when I want to get Legos, I come down here to Big Fun, which is my local toy store where I get most of my props for my animation.
It goes up, down, one by one, under the radar and over their heads. A good spy is real hard to find. 1, 2, 3. A boulder wears down, drip by drip. Misguided malcontent municipal freaks. The battle lines seem hard to observe. 1, 2, 3. Then comes a face-off, head to head. Know that they know, but not what they know. Lost in time and out of space. 1, 2, 3. There ain't no place that's safe. There ain't no place that's free. There ain't no way we're in the wrong. There ain't no place where we belong. At last we'll rise up hand in hand. So hard to get to where we wanna be. All need the one just as the one needs all. 1, 2, 3. There ain't no place that's safe. There ain't no place that's free. There ain't no way it takes this long. There ain't no place where we belong. What if all the missiles are misguided? What if our enemies are in our minds? What if all we hate's the idea that we hate? 1, 2, 3. What if our directives are misapplied? What if the uniformed are uninformed? Mutated malformed miscreant freaks. 1, 2, 3. Circling the drain in my brain. In my heart I can't get there again.
They sell used toys, loose toys, and collectible toys still sealed in the original package, and they have a huge selection in a very small space. They got G.I. Joes, Ninja Turtles, Masters of the Universe, Power Rangers, DC Superpowers, Star Trek, Star Wars, Mask, all the wrestlers ever, and all kinds of play sets and minifigs and Lego kits. I really love this store and do stop in every time I'm out on the short north.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, we put the slider out.
You got it?
I wanted to try to. Oh my goodness, Gus. Yeah.
Can you look at the Pokemon cards? Thank you. Perfect, thank you. Can you hold them for a second?
I just know we wanted to flip through the Pokemon cards real quick.
Out of sight and unexpected, toward the back of the shop is this huge bin of loose Lego bricks that you can pick and pull or just take by the random scoop. And you can take home a bag for a pretty fair price, and it's a pretty big bag too.
Well, that's that. The event that I went to, I couldn't figure out what that robot thing was. In the middle of the episode, I'll put it right here now. I couldn't figure out what that was, so I went to first I checked older videos of the event to see if that statue had been at other Brickfest live events, or if it was a new thing. It had in fact been at various older events, past events, and nobody seemed to know what it was. And I also noticed that the past events were much bigger, more elaborate, more lavish. They had more performers, more interaction, more stations and displays and all this. And they also had a different mascot. And the mascot that they had a registered trademark mark on it, but the one that was at the event that I went to had a different logo with a different mascot, and it didn't even say TM on it. And so I noticed this and assumed that there must have been some kind of breaking away from in the organization, like maybe one group decided they didn't want to be involved with the other part of the group, or maybe someone passed away and so their collection went into like some kind of weird limbo, and they were perhaps the owner of the trademark, but they don't exist anymore, so they had to make a new trademark, and it was put out so quickly they didn't even have the time to market TM, which means trademark. Circle R is a registered trademark that has been registered with the federal government. Your TM is basically your mark by which you trade, and is recognized as your mark of trade by other people, and you just call it that so that nobody else will use your particular trademark. So anyway, I contacted the people who run Brickfest Live, and as of now, that was 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks and 3 days ago. And as of now, I have not heard back from them, so I don't know what happened, and I don't know what that robot is. Okay, but it's definitely a smaller event than it once was. Or the one that I went to was definitely a smaller event than past events, and I don't know if they'll like do some kind of restructuring and get it all together in the future, but the one that I went to was much smaller than other events. And I guess that's it. Build stuff with Lego, or any way you imagine you might want to. Okay? Yeah. Whatever. Have fun. That's the show. Bye-bye.
So Zero Skull says Brian Green is a charlatan. Thank you, Zero Skull. I appreciate that.